And I guess if you have a question, you can unmute.
Exactly. So again, because we're recording, I just want to start out saying I'm Shirley Chin and member of San Diego Chapter A and G and Western Area Region. And I was invited by Apple Blossom to do my program on the crazy things that Shirley's going to do for Canvas. I had some epic failures, but epic successes. All right. So with me is Joanne Einhorn. Hey, Joanne, say hello. From my chapter. She's helping out with the camera. And we're going to have 2 stations here. So I'm going to do the easy ones. And then we're going to go to later in a minute into some harder materials. So what I was thinking, because I was bored at home and I did kind of part of this program, what can you do with Canvas? Normally we don't want to wet it, right? But I said, oh, what the heck? Let's wet everything. Let's dye it. What can you do? You know, is the stitching judge going to go after me? So I've been experimenting with different colors. Can you see the colors? These is gray. I have sandstone, 18 count, you know, sandstone. We have pink, interlock. We have white, white 18 counts, all kinds. So I've been experimenting with that. So I'm using traditionally dyes that normally used for fabric and use them in a different way, different ideas. So let me show you one way. Here's a jar. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make into speaker view. That's why I didn't do, sorry. We're going to be in the speaker view right now. Okay, let me pin myself for spotlight. Okay, so I'm spotlighting myself. And, oh, wait, I'm sorry. I got to go back. I'm spotlight the wrong thing. Let me remove spotlight and spotlight there, here. Okay. This one. Can everyone see this one? Let's see. Yes. So can you bring the camera down to look at the table now? Okay.
How about if I just
Yeah, why don't you just hold it right there? Okay. So Margie's going to hold it right here. So I'm Joanne. So we have this jar here. Normally in a jar, you would have fabric, but I'm not going to bother with that. Let me just put on some handy dandy gloves here. And we're going to do the jar dyeing method. And, you know, frankly, I have to say, this was a fun method. I also did it with my 8-year-old niece. You can't go wrong. So you have canvas here, and you kind of crumble it up. Shove it in a jar. Got this here. You know, these I got from Walmart, the tie-dyeing kit. I just squirt it in here. I don't know. Squirt it wherever you can. So you can take any colors you like and just squirt it all around.
Is it water-based?
It is water-based. So you don't want to do too much. So you want to leave in there maybe a minute or so.
It's actually fabric dye.
It's fabric dye, you know, because tie-dye, that's what it is fabric dye. And this is what happens to it. Can you see this? This is one. This is what it looks like. I did it with this. And what you do is you wash it and then you iron it. You can actually stitch on this. So it's really kind of cool. The good thing about this, now this one was done on Congress cloth, you know, no, Ida cloth. It's Ida cloth. I found Ida cloth. I thought, what the heck? And you know what? Sometimes, you know, you have old canvases that get dirty. So what I did was I cut it in half and I just did it this way. See what happens. Maybe you could stitch on the back or maybe you could stitch on the front. depending on, I just did it so you could see if you like the image and maybe you could, it helps wash out. It was really dirty. If you could see it closely, you can see pin marks, you can see dirt on it. So brown stuff here. So what I did was I incorporated the brown stuff as part of the paint and they washed some of the dirt off. So now I can stitch on it. So let's see what happens here. You're supposed to wash this afterwards, but there you go. This is one look. I'll wash it later. And the dye will get in to seep in a lot more. But
You-
whatever colors you like.
Should you wait a few hours before you wash it?
No, you wash it immediately. And it becomes really great. What I did was, I also used traditional tie-dye. Remember you doing that with your kids or in camp? You got all these ribbons. So all I did was tie it up. I could tie one up like this and then shove it up in there. And you have something like this. Some of it is also, I tied some of this up, and this one I did with ice dyeing. Are you guys familiar with ice dyeing? Do you know what that is? So, okay,
No.
you're gonna have to tell me no, because I can't see you.
Or go?
No.
Or mute with your thumbs. So with ice dyeing, you do the same thing. You crumble up and you put in a bucket and you put ice on top of it and you sprinkle or powder dye, and as time goes the ice will melt and the colors go into different areas. Now it takes overnight to do this and it's a little messy, and I didn't bring a bucket of ice to show you, but this one will look like. Now what I made a mistake was I didn't have some to filter through. So what happens when a lot of colors get together, they muddle into blues. So, but you know, you can always cut it out or just stitch as part of it, you know? So it's really not too bad at all. So another,
Could you show us something that you, one of these pieces of canvas that you now have stitched on and what you've done with it after you got it dyed?
yeah, it's in my next station. I will
Oh.
show it to you in a minute. Yes, I actually did that.
You
I
want
did
me
that.
to go
And we'll
in
talk about the shaving
with the
cream.
foam?
Yeah, we'll do that. No, why don't you start with that because I got
Okay.
one more thing to do.
Make
Okay.
sure that it's set up.
As you know, dyeing can be really messy. Here's some of my epic failures in black. Have you seen this in black?
Mm.
Yeah, it doesn't do so well for black fabric. It's kind of whatever. It doesn't hold on to it. However, you get something like called glitter spray. Do you see this? Design Master Glitter Spray. This is originally used for the florists. It's a florist, you know how where they spray flowers. And it's also, it's about $8 a can. And I'll send you a can, by the way, because you gave me some money for the chapter. So by the way, you're gonna get some of these materials so you can play with it. I'll mail a box to Joanne after this meeting. But I have a silver one, I have a gold one. And what it does, because it's also water resistant, water base. Yeah, do you want to hold it?
Yeah, hold it.
Okay. Now, can you see this?
Mhm,
The glitter that comes?
mhm.
Because
Let
it's
me-
water based, it does not ruin your canvas. You can stitch on it.
Sorry.
So you have an old canvas, or you want to, instead of running down to the store, I shouldn't say that to, you know, to your local needlework shop, you can just spray it on there. So for fun, now if you look at this I did for sandstone. You don't even have to wash it. Do you see it? It's kind of very muted. Now, if you're leery of using, you know, floral spray, there's also a tulip fabric paint spray. That's another one. I don't find it as effective though, but let me show you. Now this one is gold. Maybe I shouldn't use the gold.
Gold on beige is hard to see. Do you
Yeah,
have a
gold on
white?
beige is hard to see. Yeah.
Do you have white for them?
Yeah, I got, well, we'll try this one.
Oh, there it is on the blue.
On the blue, if you see it on the blue, you can see a bit of the canvas here. You see how it sparkles? It's very subtle for the sparkle here. So you can actually add this on, and it's made specifically for fabric, and it's permanent fabric spray.
Shirley,
So
the
yeah.
the sandstone one, did you dye that sandstone? In
This-
other words, that's the color it was white before and you dyed it sandstone?
no, this is regular sandstone. I got different color
Okay,
fabric.
okay.
Yeah, and I just simply sprayed it.
Oh, okay.
to being there. So like I said, on dark, doing the color fabric doesn't come out, but on the lighter colors, it really does. So let me do another one. I'm going to now do one more where I'm going to tie this up, and I'll wash the others. Tie it up and shove this in the box here. And this one, I'm just not going to bother to tie up. I'm just going to shove this in. Well, you got to be careful because you want to make sure the paint goes in. So, you know, you just got to squirt it in here, however you like it. It's a lot of fun. Oops. I like a yellow. I didn't bring any yellow around, and I like orange. That's some of my favorites. So what you guys can do if you want, oh, you want to do that. You don't even leave it for 10 minutes. You just leave it for a minute. And if you want to, you can always squirt some more if you're not happy with the coverage. And we'll wash it off in a minute and you can see it. But you can see it comes out differently. Even. Oh, can you let that person in,
course.
Janet?
When
Because I can't.
I let her in.
Okay, great. Yeah, let me wash these. And these are going to be fantastic as what they look like afterwards.
If you want to start over there, I'll go wash them.
Oh, okay.
You want
How do
me-
you wash them?
Oh, I'll show you how.
You want me to just get a bowl?
I'm going to go over to where why don't you follow me with the
Can I-
camera?
Can I carry this?
Yeah, you can carry it. You're going to have to unplug. So we're going to have to do, okay, Joanne, you can unplug and just follow me.
Okay,
All right.
I'm following her.
You could just do this in the sink.
Hold on, let me just get there.
Okay.
Okay, I'm there.
All right. You could just do this in the sink, or it's actually much easier to do it here. So if you see, all you have to do is just rinse this out until you run it until the ink does not come out anymore. All the excess ink is gone,
Died.
or dyed. You're gonna iron this anyway, and I found that, yeah, the stiffening, you do lose a bit of the stiffening, but it still could be stitchable. And I'll show you something that I stitched on.
Nice shot.
Now, now do you see how the colors splay through the fabric? And then what you do is just let it dry and you iron it. And it's just random. I like the part. It's just whatever randomness you like. And you cut out the parts you don't like. So I'm gonna just leave it here. Dry on the lamp. Oh. There you go. So now I'm gonna do the messiest one. It's called shade dyeing. Now you can see this on YouTube. So I was thinking, can we do shade dyeing on canvas? Okay. So Joanne has kindly got this started, and I got this Got the shaving cream from Walmart for $1. Trust me, my husband was looking at it to shave, but I wouldn't let him. So a can go a long way. It takes about 2 cans to fill this. Okay, so. Okay, whatever. Okay, got this, and then we have to fill up 2 cans with water. Yeah. Or center. Oh, oops, center. Okay, I should. Yeah, I can't because it's too heavy to pull up, and my back is killing me. Okay, or an angle. So maybe I should have. Oh. I should have filled this up beforehand.
You know, you should have the picture.
Uh-huh.
Picture so you do.
Oh,
Have a picture in the forward.
oh, that's right. That's right.
You do that.
Okay. That's good. Now I can't see you, so if you want to speak, you'll have to unmute because I'm behind the camera. But you can see that I'm filling up three pans of 2 water because I'm going to add bleach to it. Oh, I'm sorry, vinegar, not bleach. Vinegar to help set the paint, and 1 to wash everything off. Okay, and then I'm going to show you what I've done with them. So it's kind of cool. It's really cool. Yeah, I should have filled this up. I didn't realize you would take this on.
Well, why don't you can start? I think this is good.
Oh, okay.
If you want me to.
Okay.
Let me just make sure. Yeah, this is set up so they can see you.
Okay. All right.
If it doesn't fall.
Uh-oh.
You don't want to get the camera.
Okay.
Okay, I got this set up so they can see you.
Okay.
Can you fill this up more?
Yeah, a little bit more. I promise that I'll be behind it. So I'm going to add a little bit of vinegar, just like a tablespoon. That's why when you're going to do this, you want to do several of these at the same time. Now, another epic failure. I wanted to show you Tulip Slick. These are 3-dimensional paint, and it didn't work. It washed off. Everything washed off. So I'm giving it to my niece, and I'm just buying her plain t-shirts, and she can draw whatever she wants on it. But I wanted to tell you that's some of my epic failures. So now what I'm going to do is, can you help me with the I'll bring up give you some of
The paints?
the paint.
Oh, this stuff.
Yeah, the paint. Yeah. Okay.
The same paints?
Yes, the same paints. This I was going to tell you this paint I got from Walmart, the tie-dye kit. You can tell it's quite a few. So honestly, you can't go wrong. So what you want to do is just simply pour this here. And again, it's water-based. And pour this here.
And make sure they can see. Yeah, they can.
Okay. And then maybe 1 more. I don't know. I like yellow. So I'm a yellow person. And what you want to do is take a skewer or a knife or spoon. And what you want to do is just simply go back and forth on this. Just make little ruffles. And it's really kind of cool. So I've interlocked canvas. Actually, you can use for any canvas. And simply press it in there. Now, what you want to do is to take this out. And you take this and you scrape off the excess. I usually have I forgot to bring the trash can here. And then you put it in here.
That's with the vinegar.
For the vinegar, so it sets. And then you take this out. And then you wash the rest. What do you guys think?
That's really nice.
Yeah. And what you do is you just let this let this dry. You can use anything that you want to. Here, I'm gonna put this here to be dry. Okay. So I also have, now what does it look like for like sandstone?
Mhm.
So you see this here, you can refresh the paint. It doesn't really matter. You can also have scraped it off and scraped off the top part of the uh, foam and then redo it again. So what you want to do is take your skewer and make some loops maybe. And go, there's no right or wrong. I'm not going to be there to judge you. No one is, you know, and then you can put one here and put one right here. You know, kind of set this in. You know, it's also, you can use any fabric, t-shirts or whatever if you want to. And if you're going to go through all this trouble, you might as well do a whole bunch at the same time. So I'm going to send you a couple cans as well.
I don't know about mailing cans and putting cans in the mail.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I don't think we should put cans in the mail. They provide them.
Okay, yeah, you know, for safety reasons, I don't think I put the can, but it's only $1 at Walmart. So you can't, or you have old paint cans. See, what do you think of this? Isn't that fantastic?
Hold it up so I can get it close up.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, guys?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Nice.
You see this one? Okay, again, you scrape this off here. Now what I did for you is I dyed quite a few. So I'm gonna send that through the mail. There's another one here. Now that's sandstone. You can wash it again. That is sandstone. Now, what happens if you have gray? So I'm just gonna do gray right here, right in the middle. There we go. And then we just,
So you can use that over and over and over again until the paint is gone on the top.
you can scrape the paint off, you can refresh it, you can dump the shaving cream and start over again. It depends what you want.
Mm-hmm.
I've done both, you know, so like I said, it's a little messy, but it's a lot of fun.
That's pretty. It's a little more muted.
Mm-hmm.
You see that? There you go. So you've asked me what it looks like. So I've done a bunch for you here that I've already ironed. You know, I even did different colors.
Mm-hmm.
I did it on 18 count gray. So here's one epic failure, didn't work at all. Black didn't work. I'm not going to send you that. So didn't work, epic failure. So dark colors doesn't work. My niece actually drew this on the shaving cream.
Oh,
We, you know, came out, shapes came out. It was really kind of cool. I didn't think she would do that. So here's what she did. She painted one. She decided she wanted to do a Bargello.
mm-hmm.
It's Krynic and, you know, silk. She used my silk. Oh, well, what can we say? There's another one I did. Margie, this is a, oh,
Yeah, that's good.
okay. This is a Margie Bendick design for chapter. Yeah, look at this, how it came out, right? The heart. And I just used some of the colors, the solid colors, and really,
With the open canvas.
with the open canvas. Jean Hilton is really good for her stitches because it conveys an openness. So, is there anything you want me? I was going to do dye icing, but you know that's really hard. It's the same thing. So that's what I've been doing. I actually have a Cricut, but I did not. You know, it can cut into different things, but I did not get a chance to do that for fabric. And how can you stitch art-related things, or maybe afterwards? So are there any questions? Is there anything you'd like me to demonstrate again?
Hmm.
Oh,
No, I think that is very easy to see how you did that.
Yes, thank you. So I have a bunch of stuff to show you. You will be getting this in the mail. I'll be cutting it up. So this is also a lot of ice dyeing as well. So you get to play with it. I've already ironed it and I'll cut it in slightly smaller pieces. But as you can see, you can really stitch on it.
Mm-hmm.
And especially you have old tired canvas. Now, I'm not sure if I can, the postal office, do you think they'll allow me to send this through? No, okay. They're very, you know how the post office is very leery of sending this through. I was going to send this to you, but it's really fairly inexpensive. I'll just send you more fabric.
And you can take pictures of the names of the.
Yeah, and I'll send you pictures as well of the Glitter Master to go along with it. But save your old jars. They're really good. You could even use champagne glass and or anything as a holding vessel to
Plastic bag.
plastic bag if you want to, and just shake it in there. It's actually, you know, it's pretty easy, and it's a way of using up all your old material and refreshing any canvases that you have.
So
So-
what's the purpose of the shaving cream? What does that actually do to help it?
The shaving cream helps to, well, it's just one form of dyeing to hold the dye
It
and
holds the dye in that particular pattern.
in a fleur-de-lis pattern.
Yeah,
You know, whereas as you know, tie dye could be in circles
it spreads.
and it spreads out. So that's the difference with the foam, with the shampoo foam.
Shirley, did you try Cool Whip at all?
You know, I never thought to try Cool Whip.
Then we get.
We've used it dyeing Easter eggs and it works quite well. I don't think it would hold its form as well as the shaving cream.
No, but if you have leftover, that's a good point. I could have got that on sale. Oh, the Easter egg dye could be more expensive
Oh,
too.
Easter egg dye is a great.
Food coloring.
That's a food. It's a food coloring. That's I
Mhm.
don't see why not. Why you can't
Food
choose that.
coloring is not permanent. It's not as permanent.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Joanne pointed out food coloring is not as permanent, but the fabric dye is permanent. But then, are you going to really wash it afterwards? Though Margie Thornburg, who's a finisher, says if you want to have a finish into something, they have to spray it, so you don't want the colors to run, if that were to happen.
They
So-
do rewash before they finish it.
Yeah, they do rewash a bit. So it depends. Or if you're going to frame it, then it wouldn't really matter, you know, as much. But that's what I've been doing in the pandemic. It's been a little crazy. So thank you for listening to me and for inviting me to hold this program for your chapter. And
Thank you.
your creations. I will be, like I said, I'm going to send Joanne a box of stuff, and I'd love to see what you're going to do with it. So you may, you know, it's a great way to get rid of stuff or use up things.
So we'll see you again on Thursday, May 13th at 6 o'clock.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And what is our topic? I forgot our topic. For Western area. Doesn't really matter. I'll look at my notes and send up. So thank you so much, ladies, for inviting me.
Shirley, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much.
Mhm.
You're
It was a
welcome.
lot of fun, Shirley.
Very interesting. Thank you.
I'll send Joanne
Yeah.
copies of pictures of this and in a box and the recording. Okay.
All right.
Sounds great. Thank
Thank
you.
Bye.
Bye now.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye.
So
Okay.
Well, hello, everyone.
We're back.
Hello.
Oh, she was funny.
It was interesting.
Would any of you try it?
Sure.
I'll stitch on something that she sends us.
Yeah.
I couldn't do any of the dyeing, but I would stitch on a piece.
Mhm. I was thinking when I saw her little heart one that she had stitched in the center there, I thought something interesting could be done with the little heart one. And the shaving cream dye would give you more um,
Definition?
yeah, you would know more what you're doing rather than crumpling it up, because then you're just taking a guess on how it's going to come out. But the shaving cream one with, but then that's really super messy. But I'm thinking there are other ways maybe of doing that.
Well, I've done a dyed canvas at the seminar in DC. And the teacher was well-known.
Mm-hmm.
She lives in Florida and I can't remember her name. But we dyed it in class and dried it and then ironed it and created a flower garden with the colors we did.
Ladies, can you hear me?
Yes?
Shirley, hi. Okay, so this is my account, and if you want to continue to have your meeting, I'm going to make Joanne the co-host to continue. How's
Oh,
that? Because you're on my account, not Joanne's. All
Okay.
right. So
Okay.
what I'll do is I'll make Joanne the co-host. Make host. So now I'm gonna change I formally have changed the host to Joanne, and that way I can leave without you ending your meeting. Okay?
okay.
Thank you so much. See you guys later. Bye.
Thank you, Shirley.
Thanks, Shirley.
Well, Joanne, do you remember when, I don't know if I'm muted or not, no.
No, you're not.
Joanne, do you remember when we did the marbling?
Oh, yeah.
Apple Blossom Stitchers, do you remember that? And
Yep.
although we had that huge kitchen to work in, wasn't that messy, I don't think.
No, that was fun. I like the results of that.
Yeah, that we had some good pieces of canvas.
Yeah. that was-
I like that better than the shaving cream.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I
that's the
wasn't
problem
really-
with the shaving cream. You can control it more, but you're right. It is so messy. And you need the pan with the vinegar to stick
Vinegar.
the colors. So I noticed now her other things that she dyed, she didn't worry about setting the color. She just
Yeah, I
dried.
think it's because of the medium she was using.
Right.
She was using tie-dye paints, fabric paints on
She used the same-
the ones she balled up. Did she use those on the shaving cream?
She used the
No.
same paint, the little that came in the little
Yeah.
bottles that she,
And the tie dye.
yeah. As
Oh,
she used the same paint on the shaving cream. The only thing that was different was she set the color.
the colors.
You know, but when we did the marbling, we had small pieces of canvas. I mean, what were they? 8x8, 9x9. They weren't big pieces like she was wrangling.
No,
That's true.
Yeah, you could do a small version, just
mhm.
not use so much shaving cream.
Cool Whip.
Yeah.
Well, you could tell them about our experience with Easter eggs.
Well, that seemed,
What did you do? Tell us.
What did we do?
Mhm.
Well, Laverne, you tell them, we just used Cool Whip and we added the colors to it, rolled the eggs in it, kind of rinsed them off, dried them, and that was it.
I mean, these were real eggs?
They were real eggs. Yeah,
That's
just hard-boiled
nice.
eggs.
For the last, I don't know how many years, Jan and I and her girls and sometimes Grace, my granddaughter, we all get together on the Saturday before Easter and dye our eggs together.
Mhm.
So we have some pretty wild eggs. Lots
And a
of
lot-
experimenting.
A lot of different methods, but I think the dyeing that Shirley showed us might be interesting to do like a background for maybe some Easter egg designs. Things that you wouldn't have to completely fill in canvas and have some of those pastel colors maybe showing through.
With the
So I
real
think it'd be fun to
open-
try something in our chapter with it.
Uh-huh. I do too.
One thing she did say was that when she washed it, it took some of the sizing out, but you can
Mhm.
just use spray starch when you iron it.
Mhm.
That puts the sizing right back in.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, and sometimes you want things a little bit more loose anyway, more pliable, depending on what shape it's going to be.
Well, that's true.
I like the little heart she showed us that she
I
did.
do too.
Mhm.
But I'm thinking about Jan's idea for doing the Easter eggs. And you could do a very open stitch and then make, one of the diorama Easter eggs.
Yes.
Cut a hole in the canvas, whip stitch it, cut a hole in your styrofoam egg, and then put, either a scrap of canvas in there, the tie-dyed canvas is the background, and then put the little chick things in.
Let us know how that works out, Laverne.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let you know right after I dye the fabric in my
Yeah.
kitchen sink. We do make a mess at Jan's house.
Did you notice she said Jan's house?
Hopefully
We started at
outside.
my house. The first time we did the shaving cream and the whipped cream was in my house.
I know it was. Mhm.
Yeah, so I cleaned it. We did put just put a cheap plastic tablecloth down so you can just whoosh it up
Mhm.
and throw it away.
Yeah,
And
but
And
take
did
the
you
eggs
just
out
u-
first.
Yeah, take that off.
Sorry, Beth.
no. So you guys were just using food color though, right?
We used food color and we used some of the paws, little
Easter egg
dye things.
Yeah.
We used a little of whatever we could find. Sometimes there were new things for the year. This year, we had trouble finding much of anything other than just using food colorings.
But don't we have the gel food coloring?
Yeah, Kim had that.
Yeah. We use gel,
Ah,
which
right.
is better. But
It's just fun.
that's a lot of fun. Well, if you did Cool Whip, you could just use that little bitty container, make a little bitty canvas. Wouldn't have any mess.
Not to change the subject, but is anybody planning on doing the virtual A&G seminar?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Mhm. Jean, what are you going to take?
I'm gonna do the Terry Gertis kimono.
Oh, I'm not
Sorry.
surprised. That's what I want also.
Yeah, me too.
That's lovely.
Well,
And
and
there was one other piece I was looking at, and I'll have to see. I haven't found the information online yet.
I think
think-
registration opens, what they say,
May
May, was it?
13th.
it's May 13th, right? Or something like
That's what
that?
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
13th.
I think you're right. 13th or
Yeah.
14th.
Mhm.
Now, I have a question. Did they charge a fee last year other than the registration?
um,
Does
And your
anybody
kit.
remember?
'cause
I mean,
took-
other than the registration and the kit fee,
Yes, I
Well,
believe
they
they did.
did they? Okay,
Yes.
that's what I
No.
couldn't remember.
Well, I thought it was just a registration fee. The
And
fee,
I was charged more than the registration fee, so there was some other fee that was in there.
my fee was pretty minimal because I just took the one kimono class last year.
Well, I took Once in a Blue Moon and I think it was
Yeah.
$220. So there must have been a registration fee in there.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
think
it's registration and kit.
But this year, there's an addition, I mean, there is a, what was it, 175 to take a class?
Oh,
Mhm.
oh,
As a registration fee,
72.
Jan?
No, well, registration was the initial fee, and then the class fee, the class kit, but then a fee for taking a class, depending on how many days you want to take.
yeah, that's the in-person is substantially more expensive than what I experienced on the virtual last time around. No,
Well, this wasn't for in-person, this was for virtual,
for last year or this year?
this year. Yeah. I just
Oh,
went
It was
into,
2020 seminar that was to be in Tucson.
Were you going to stay in the hotel or were you going to stay at home?
Well, Tucson's a good hour and a half from us, so we would have stayed in.
Oh,
the
you
hotel.
would have stayed at home. Okay. Or stayed there. Yeah.
Stay
Stayed there.
Because they do have a commuter's fee if you don't stay at the hotel.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So they've only opened it up to those who pre-registered for in-person, right?
For the-
That's
Just for
what
the
it
first
sounded
day.
like.
And so,
So that's how you've seen the fees for this year, because they haven't
Mhm.
showed them public yet.
It was on the website is where I saw it. And they said that the registration would be open to the ones who had done it in person for just the first day of registration.
And they were charging 175 to register.
It was something like that. Yeah, I'd have to go back in and check.
That's a lot.
But I
more
was a
than
little surprised because I didn't remember them doing it last year. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I don't remember that either. Hmm.
It's still a lot cheaper than going in person.
True.
So,
Well, you don't have travel and you don't have a hotel and food.
Right,
and everything
right.
else.
yeah.
Airfares are going up.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
I'm
going to be a
sure.
busy travel summer.
Are you traveling?
No, my cousins are. Well, we're going to Colorado the first week in June. And we paid through the nose.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
I-
enjoy your
They've got to
time.
make up. They've got to make up for last year.
They sure do.
Mhm.
All in one lump sum, huh?
Yeah, one time. Okay, I already did this.
So are you going to be gone for our June brunch?
Yes,
Jean?
I am.
Oh, that's too bad.
It's a family reunion and it came together very quickly and everybody was able to get reservations at the same place for the same time. So my sister didn't even tell us about it until the 1st of April. So
Is it in Denver?
it's in Estes Park.
Oh, that's beautiful. You'll have a nice time.
I was
There'll
thinking
probably be
about-
18 to 20 of us.
So that'll be
Right.
nice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was thinking about you, Jean, because at the same time you were in Hawaii, I think Sandy Coyle was there. I don't know whether she's come home or not. from
Sandy's
our-
coming home tomorrow
Is she?
and she was in the Big Island.
That's where we are.
Okay.
And of course, Cherie just came home last week from being there. So we've had quite a few people. Oh,
I was surprised at how busy it was. I was there in February with my sister for 2 weeks and it was very calm and laid back and not too many people on the beach, not too many people in the restaurants. A lot of places weren't open. But over spring break, things really exploded. And there are a lot of people, particularly Californians, who are going to Hawaii,
oh,
which is fine. They
We just-
really need it. Their economy is really hurting.
We just booked yesterday and got really cheap tickets. And we're flying at 10 in the morning, going United out and to Maui and then Hawaiian Air back. And I think for both of us, it's a little under $800. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, I think they must be trying to get incentive. Now, the rental car, on the other hand, was almost twice the airfare, but we knew that going in.
yeah.
When are
However,
you going, Janet?
you can rent a U-Haul truck.
Yeah, no, it's not a U-Haul. We're going in early November.
Oh, that's far
So
enough.
we'll
out.
fly
Yeah.
home before Thanksgiving. So
We're
we'll be-
going on May
that right.
15th.
You're
We
going.
kind of, we've had the reservations a long time, and of course, we waited to really decide whether we were going to go, but I think we will.
Where are you going, Joanne?
Hawaii. We
The
always,
Big Island.
we always go there, so hopefully it's okay.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Well, I was not enamored with Kauai.
No?
No, it was the whole, we had a couple of days that weren't bad, but the whole, it seemed like everything was frustrating.
Because what made it frustrating?
Well, so this is the third time we've been to Princeville and there's been a mudslide on the
Oh.
main road going to Honolulu or above.
Mm.
And then there's more road work below Kilauea. And the first few days, things were, some were open, some weren't. They're treating everything like with the rules from like a year ago, not in the last 4 or 5 months. I don't know, it was just frustrating a lot of the time. Not to
It
mention,
varies. Right now, it's varying island by island what the
Yep.
restrictions are. So you really have to keep up with where you're going.
and Kauai is the strictest,
So,
That's
yeah,
true. And they do have that road issue.
all the time.
Either
This-
flood, this is a landslide on the road.
Yeah. The other thing is that there are only 9 ICU beds on the entire island. So that's why, I mean, I get why they're paranoid, but it just seems like they're using, their reasoning is behind what California's is for sure.
Mhm.
Maurice we did our COVID tests on Tuesday because we were leaving Friday. And Thursday, about 11 o'clock in the morning, we get a thing back for the COVID test. His test, they could not use his sample for testing. Don't even say why. So he now, the day before we're leaving, we have not even what you would call an equivocal test. It lacked enough whatever to do the test. So he spent 4 hours Thursday retesting. And so Alaska, we had a nonstop from San Jose. We went to San Jose because it was nonstop to Lihue. And 2 weeks after we booked, they changed it to LA and then Lihue. And 3 weeks after that, they changed it to Seattle and then Lihue. And because we went to my brother's the night before, went to the airport Friday morning, they said, oh, we don't deal with COVID here. You're flying to Seattle, and that's where you'll have to take care of it. And I'm like, but at least we're in the Bay Area if there's a problem. No, you have to do it in Seattle. In Seattle, Maurice didn't have a negative test. He had a test, but not a negative test. They weren't going to give him a bracelet. I had everything, including a negative test. They would not let me get on the plane without him. So we're in Seattle.
Doesn't sound fun.
So
As soon as they changed the Alaska flight going from Oakland to Seattle to Lihue, we turned our tickets in and bought them on Hawaiian so we could go nonstop. So
Yeah.
I didn't want to deal with that.
well, we had booked nonstop from San Jose.
Yeah, but
So-
But
Alaska-
don't you have to be tested the last place on the West Coast before
No.
going to the island?
No, you have to be tested within 72 hours at one of their providers. You can't even
Right.
not even from your doctor. And finding a place to do it here in Petaluma was either in Tiburon or the other side of Santa Rosa. Those were the closest places. But
Oh,
no,
you're not Kaiser. You're not Kaiser then, because
No.
Kaiser is accepted.
oh, because I heard Kaiser wasn't anymore.
Yes, it is.
Okay. But I mean, it was just, so when I said to Maurice, see ya, I'm going, because we had talked about it. It's better for one person to be stuck there. And she said, oh, no, you can't go. And I said, yes, I can. I have all the documents you need. I'm going. So then she starts backing off. We are the last people to be boarding the plane, and people are coming out asking where we are. And finally she said, okay, fine, I won't give you the bracelet here. You'll have to deal with it in Hawaii. And it was so the problem just moved with us. And then when we got there and finally got through that, it was a 3-hour wait to get a car rental. 3 hours. There were 2 people at the desk. The line was around the building the entire 3 hours, even when we left.
I think I'll stay home.
And
Pick another destination, Joanne.
What'd you say?
we
I
got to
said
the
pick another
resort.
destination.
Oh, I think you'll be fine off of Kauai. I knew that Kauai was still buttoned down, but I just didn't expect, so we get to the resort, they're closed, shorter hours of COVID. So we had to go to the main resort to check in. We get there, it's like 8:30. We're all starved. And she's like, where are your QR codes? Where are your COVID tests? So we said, you know what? We're gonna go eat somewhere before we check in. All 4 of us were like, we just want to eat. Anyway.
Oh dear.
Mhm.
Oh, I have to ask you, Jean, are you staying in the Stanley Hotel?
Where, in Estes Park?
Estes Park? Is it?
We're staying at the YMCA cabins.
Oh. That sounds fun.
We've done cabins most of our family vacations. So everybody has a place to retreat if the in-laws aren't getting along with the outlaws. Or-
I've stayed there with my sisters. It's not the YMCA cabins, but it's right on the river there. And there are several little cabins that are run. It's like a very small resort, and it's just so great. It's really, I can't remember the name of it, but it's nice. Right on the Big Thompson River.
My sister lives in Denver now, and she's done all of the scouting for this, and she put all of the stuff together, but we had to make our reservations individually, and that turned into a bit of a problem, but we all got through, and we've all got our reservations, and it's gonna be fun.
Sounds great.
Yes. And you don't have to fly over water, so
No,
So
we
you
just have
don't-
to deal with 7,500 feet altitude.
Yeah.
Goodness,
Definitely.
wow.
Drink lots of water, less wine.
Yes, that's what we've been told.
What kind of a vacation is that?
I
You
know.
can't drink wine.
It's better than the headache.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
it-
yeah,
True.
that it is.
I have to go. My husband just came home and it's time for me to cook.
All right.
Okay.
Hey,
Take
you.
care, everybody.
Dinner.
Thanks
right.
for coming, you
Bye.
guys.
Goodbye.
bye.
Thanks, Joanne.
Well,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome. I wasn't really sure what she would do, but she's entertaining.
She's very entertaining.
What's everyone stitching on?
I'm not stitching on a little Mindy piece, but it's out in the living room, but I could go get it, but.
What are you
Working my
stitching
way
on,
through it.
Janet?
I'm finishing the third of Kathy Reese, the trio that. a
Oh,
bunch of-
the tree.
Yeah.
And then I'm doing a little, we need the poo, I'll show you.
I'm on stitching break right now.
Don't tell
Oh.
this artist who's probably been dead for years. There's the ornament I have.
Oh, how
cute.
cute.
And this friend of mine
Huge.
had just fell in love with it about 8-10 years ago. And I said, oh, it's really easy. She's a math teacher. So, it's just copy the grid. Well,
Mhm.
she's turning 60. And so there's where I am so
Oh.
far.
Oh,
So obviously I won't finish it in 3 weeks. I mean, I'll stitch it. So I'm going to give her, and you guys give me feedback on this. I'm going to give her the canvas and give her a choice. She can either, I'll have it finished and tell her it won't be probably till January. I can have her hang on to it, and her son, who will have his 20 years in the military as a pilot, married to another pilot in 4 years, and then she can give it back to me and I will stitch a baby's name on it because that's the plan. And there was a third alternative, or I could stitch a name on it. Now I could stitch her son's name on it. I don't know, because it's for her son, whether she's going to wait till she has a grandbaby or actually the son. So any thoughts? Any other way I could give it to her? Because don't sew, so I can't have it finished for her birthday, even though.
Is there any way that you could go ahead and have it finished now? And then when the baby comes, could you do the baby's name on a little tag and attach it?
Oh, that's a good idea.
a little heart,
Think
a
of
little
that.
heart.
Mhm.
But I can't have it finished in 3 weeks.
No.
Unless my friend a mutual friend across the street sews, but I don't think she's ever sewed like an ornament type, So
Oops.
yeah.
Well, you could do the round ball and the styrofoam, and there's no sewing with that.
Well, that's a thought. Yeah, that's a lot of pressure. I'm not very crafty. I would rather pay someone from Dale to get it done. Have it for Christmas. But that's a good idea. I should think about that. And now, Joanne, you've taught us flat finishing. I have those instructions. I think it was flat finishing. It wasn't.
I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have mine too. In fact, I finished a little grease one that I did for Eric and Lolita after they came back from their trip. So, but I think she wants another one now. So we'll see.
Yeah, I knew there was a reason I had all those styrofoam balls. I gave all my quilting patterns and pillows and styrofoam balls. I gave all that away in the clean out last May. So I said, you know what? I'm going to have these done nicely instead of trying to do all this stuff myself. So
That's a good.
Well, if I can get this up kind of up here, this is what I've been working on. And do you remember the girl in, let's see, was it Needlepoint Now? I think the girl that writes for Needlepoint Now, she did this exact one, and she did it, I think, in DMC, all in
Loss.
yeah, in tent stitch, basket weave. So I don't have the dark part right here of the sky done. I started it with what I thought was the right color, but it's obviously not. So I need to take that out and do it. So the other night, since I didn't have what I think is the right color, I started in on the little white stars or whatever they are. And that thread is so tricky to work with. Oh my gosh. I like the looks of it, but oh well.
What thread are you using?
Well, now I'll have to get up and go in the living room.
Oh,
But I will.
Okay.
I'll get up and go in the living room and look. The big thing became, this was done in blue and white, and I changed it to 2 colors of blue. And my friends were of various, whether that was a good idea to do these in 2 colors of blue, or should I have left the corners in blue and white. But I'm happy with the 2 colors of blue. These trees I did in Krynic, and these trees I have a really shiny, sparkly thread to do in. So I'm gonna, and these trees will all get beaded. So it's moving along. However, I ran out of thread up here, and you can see. So I did a little bit of it. I don't know how to get this on here. So I finished this part here, and then I left a big place, and I did a little bit more, and I have maybe a tenth of a
That's the Blue Splendor, right?
that's the Blue Splendor.
I- I have a card of it fresh from Madonna's.
Oh, good, good, good. So I will pick that up next time I see you. And but I left spaces because I thought if worse comes to worse, I can blend it in with the leftover thread so it doesn't look too difficult. This, was not, and then of course the other thing is I need to find a light, whatever this is, kind of a teal color in here. I had the darker one, but I didn't have the light one. So the next time I'm at Love to Stitch, I'll take the darker one with me and find what the next color is so I can do that. But obviously it has been so easy. It hasn't been a brain trust kind of thing to do, which has been nice.
That is nice for once in a
Watch
while.
TV and do it.
I see stickers on your door, Patricia.
Oh, yes. Well, those are May 15th. Is Terry Dryden is teaching her bluebonnet flowers. June 19th, walking at the, these are all Mount Tam programs for the entire year, walking at the water's edge. And I'm hoping Joanne she'll still be in town on June 19th to just show us what she did. And so people can see changes they can make. Not teaching anything, just showing us.
Oh, and that's
July
good.
17th, Janet Swing is doing her silk sampler.
What's the
August
date?
21st, we had Dale Lindsay for the Beaded Star.
What's
but we may
the
move
date for
him
me?
Down to September, or we may move him over to July, because it turns out he's going to be gone in August and he's open for other days.
Patricia,
October is our anniversary luncheon. Oh, September right now is Chris Clausen's Canvas Safe program, but October is our 20th anniversary luncheon, which was supposed to be last year, but we're doing it this year. And then we also have a little Southwest box. And I have emailed needlepoint and ING to ask, I need the 1999 needle pointers that Southwest box was in, because we did it as part of Wine Country. And I gave away a whole bunch of old needle pointers to new people who had joined Mount Tam, and I gave away that one. So I don't have the directions. So
What month is it, Patricia?
I have no idea. On my little thing in my book that I write down every piece I'm working on, I just have 1999 needle pointers written up in the corner. So anyway, I emailed them and they said, well, we can certainly do that. There is a charge for it, and we store the needle pointers in another building, and it'll take us a while to find the correct needle pointers that program is in. And when we find it, we'll notify you. And I haven't heard anything since that email.
Maybe someone has them.
I
Well, that would
probably
be great
do.
if someone has their 1999. And I'll show you kind of what it looks like.
You have it, Beth?
Just
Probably.
here.
In the garage somewhere. Is anybody a member of the San Diego chapter? Any of you? No. I was
Not
curious.
currently. I have been. I've done a bunch of programs with them, but I'm not currently a member.
Just curious.
What are they doing that's interesting, Joanne?
Oh, she was just talking about Jill Riccoli teaching a project. Was that?
Mhm.
I don't know her.
I know they had Jennifer Reifenberger a couple times.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well, here is, I've got it started and you can see it has things separating it out. And here's one side of the box. Here's a second side of the box, another side of the box, and yet another, the fourth side of the box. Then there is also the top of the box, which looks like this. I don't know whether you can see this. And it'll go over once the box is all put together. And it's really very cute. But I don't have the instructions. And actually, I noticed, I don't think that I'm completely finished. I don't know, I may be. This may be all the finish. And this, I was interested when she talked about sandstone. I thought that's what this canvas was, but it's much pinker than sandstone. So no, I know I haven't finished because here's the chilies that are hanging, and we don't know how they're hanging. They're just embroidered. So anyway, back.
So Janet, do you still need to know the month?
I will, because I was looking, because I'm camping in June, July and August, and I think I'm okay for July, but if she has to move me to August, it could be a problem. So just confirm it with me a month ahead before you commit me. I've got all the materials, so that's not a problem.
So
Well, we all know that, but does Pat know that? About your vacation plans?
Oh, Patricia, no, she's never asked. She never gave me a date for programs. This is the first I'm hearing. I mean, I knew she had programs lined up. That's why I said, oh, me? July? Me?
Oh, that's funny. She's gone again.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's been a busy bee. I mean, she just plowed through on May and she has not heard whether our facility is open or not. And I
Oh,
know
are you still meeting at the church?
no, we haven't for a while. We've been up in the Novato,
Senior
it's Park and Rec, but it's
Oh, okay, that's right.
Hill Senior. It's a senior center.
Mhm.
If anybody took Margaret's kimono class about 25 years ago there, I know some of you did. Well, now that I'm looking at you, I'm not sure who did, but I know some people from Apple Blossoms were members of Mount Tam then. Wasn't quite that long, but anyway, it was our first workshop. It's that facility, and because it is a senior center, they're very, very cautious.
Yeah.
So, but it's a great place for workshops. What about the church, Joanne? Is there any movement now that you guys are in Orange now, right? In Sonoma County?
yes.
I did talk to Mickey. I mean, the church has been closed. I talked to her last week.
And
Yeah.
I am going to be, I talked to Mickey today and she asked me to keep in touch with the person that we know at the church, who's a mutual friend, Vicky. So, you know, and she said to me, it's all up to the people in Missouri, the World Church people, in terms of when they decide to open their churches. So
we're looking at the fall, not before then.
right.
So we'll just see what happens.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, on Wednesday, May 4th, I go over and meet with the new person, because Teresa Iktashami, who was our person at the senior center, our contact person. She is on maternity leave with twins. So we have a new person there, and I meet with her on Wednesday, May 4th, and I will get the final word from them at that time, because theoretically, they have sent an email saying that they are planning on reopening. So we'll see. I'm taking a check. Oh, and by the way, the thread that I really, 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 really love, I don't know whether you can see this or not. It just looks like white thread, but it's Silk to Go. It's English 6-stranded silk, product of UK. And you know where I got this was at the San Francisco Needlepoint School.
Oh,
They have all of these threads, and I really love it because when you stitch with this, for example, on these little stars, I'm not holding it right, get it up close, on the little stars, it puts a little raised up design, and it's very rounded. This is a very round thread, and I am not ironing this thread purposefully because I like that rounded look on this very much. So, but while you're stitching with it, the little ends all want to come undone. So you're constantly kind of twisting it back together as you stitch, which makes maybe takes a little bit longer time than I had planned on, but still, it's very nice. So.
So Joanne, are we starting on the 6, the Pippin 6 in September? Is that the plan?
I think so, yeah.
Good. I bet they were thrilled when you ordered all those canvases from them.
I don't know. I think they're happy.
I think they are, yeah.
No, I'm sure they are. I'm sure that will make Apple Blossom one of their favorites.
Well, they will have them too, so that's easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll get the thread list when?
Let's see. Janet sent me a photo of her thread list for it, but I thought it
I
might.
have it because I have the stitch guide and I have the canvas, so.
I thought it might be easier to wait till we actually get the stitch guide, and we'll get that, in the next month, I think. So you can have it that soon.
Okay.
You want, it seems easier to have your own copy, but I can send you what Janet sent me. It's just kind of
No,
hard.
it's fine. I just wondered,
We'll get that early
There
on.
were some unusual threads on there that I hadn't heard of, and I think I must have asked Love to Stitch like what it might be equivalent of. There were 2. I can go get it if you're curious on the threads.
I
So
might use the stitch palettes to change the colors of the beach blankets.
yeah, and
Use our stitch
then
palette.
if we each take a square, or 6 people take a square and study it ahead of time, like, okay, here's some suggestions since we can't find, or maybe we decide we want to hunt down this thread. I'll go get it, actually. Some of you that have multiple shops near you might say, oh yeah, that shop has it.
I think she's talking to us, Jan.
I think so too.
And did either of you sign up for Pippin?
They
No.
They didn't.
We
Mm-mm.
did not.
Just because there's so many projects that I have to get done this year.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
Somehow, Jan, you always set your goals high and you exceed them.
no,
oh,
not lately.
I wish I were like that.
No.
Me too.
Mhm.
Listen, I
I have
need
so
to
much in
leave.
the queue, but oh well.
Bye, Sherry.
I
Bye.
Bye-bye,
Bye.
Sherry. Good to see you. Nice to
Bye-bye.
see you.
Bye, Sherry.
So the two that I'm unfamiliar with, and there's also Delica beads in here, which I find harder to find. I have the white ones, but they want aqua. And that's something we might order and share. Because I think Delica beads, don't you have to order like in bulk or something? So the two threads I was not familiar with is called Fine Kid. And someone told me that's like Vineyard or Impressions. And then the other one is Harmony Silk.
I haven't
Laverne
heard of those.
and no, you haven't heard
No.
of this. Okay.
Uh-uh.
Is it twisted or flat? You don't know.
Go.
I don't know
Jan-
about the Harmony Silk, but the Fine Kid, it's used on the background. I think it was actually, might even be David that's using it on his stitch guide.
Oh, gosh.
Interesting. Trenway Silk. I did not see that on. Wow. That must be the Harmony Silk. Huh. That's not on the list, yet he has it in his, so it's a border. So I think that would be easy to fake it with something else.
Oh, sure. I'm sure you can substitute everything
Yeah.
if you need
So,
to.
Where are the beads used, Janet? Off the top of your
Um,
head, you know?
they are on the ice cream cones, the fishing line, I think. So none of them are used much. So that's one thing. I know you guys won't be at the luncheon, but I can send you some notes or something.
They're
That's
not
Well,
doing it.
We're not doing it.
They're
I
not
just
doing it.
wondered
Oh, you're
why
not
do you
doing
need-
it. Oh, I thought you were doing it from a distance.
No, uh-uh.
Ah, okay. Well, I guess we don't have to worry about Zooming. I was
Yeah.
hoping we'd Zoom to include the two of you.
Well, we'd like to see what you're doing anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So for the luncheon, I was gonna analyze it a bit so I could tell you, oh, Delica beads, you need 3 of them or something. So you
well, why
wouldn't
couldn't
worry
you
about that.
switch? Why do
Well-
you need delicas? Why couldn't you just use seed beads?
Sure.
Yeah. And that's the thing.
Because
A lot of
especially if you only need 3 or 4 of them.
And even like the color vibe beads, which I did find, I think I was down at Needle Nook La Jolla, and they have a ton of huge bead rack of Sundance. And
Mhm.
the color vibe is used a lot, but you could just take a look at the picture and make your own combination of the same
Oh, sure.
colors.
Mhm.
But if you do want the delicas, we've got a shop down here that carries all of them and we could
Yeah.
always send them to you.
Oh, okay. Which one is that?
Yeah, we can send you some.
Creative Destinations.
Oh, okay. It's not one of your needle workshops, one of your.
No, it's a beading store.
Mhm.
That's
Oh.
nice.
The bead store.
So I will send the list that Janet sent you. I'll send it to you, Beth, and everybody, so you can
Okay,
look at it.
thanks.
She sent it as an attachment, so I think you'll be able to read it. She has lots of notes on it, don't you, Janet? Yeah.
I just have lots of little check marks because I was going through the, and it's hot. Well, I don't know if you can see the highlights. Those are ones I needed. So as I was going to different places.
I'll be glad to send that. I'll do that later.
Well, that would be good. Actually, if all of us could have the list of things,
I will
because
do
we'll
that.
be in Chicago at the EGA conference and in September, and there are 2 bead stores in Chicago that we're going to go to that carry thousands of things. And so when you were talking about that, I was thinking, oh, we could look for that color and everything
Well,
and size and
so
so.
Joanne said you're going to have it in a month. You'll have the actual stitch guide.
Oh,
So
well,
you
then,
might even have it at the luncheon for that matter.
that's
But
right.
Right.
in the
Okay.
meantime, I will kind of do some analysis, so at least I can tell you that there's only, don't go out and buy a 1,000 pack of Delica. We need 3 of them. So you can,
Oh, okay.
For eyes somewhere. Is there
yeah,
a birth?
that's the problem with these stitch guides is they don't,
You don't know where
you don't know until you're actually
Yeah.
stitching it. And I like to kit it up ahead of time,
Yeah,
move through it.
right.
Well, like Jan said, if you certainly need that, give us a call. Jan, I'm thinking, I wonder if the attic has those 2 odd silks that Janet mentioned. Harmony Trenway. Who sells?
Well, the
Trenway? Somebody
Trenway
sells Trenway.
more than likely, but the other one doesn't sound familiar at all.
Yeah. I'm trying to
Yeah.
remember who uses that. It's in a blue color.
I mean, if you want to, send us the name exactly and we can check it out.
Mhm.
Oh,
We
thank
don't
you.
mind. We don't mind scouting around for you guys.
Oh,
No,
thank-
there's a couple shops we need to go visit.
Yeah, having to go to needlepoint shops is such a task.
Oh, here we go. This is Julia Snyder. So she's using the Fine Kid. I don't know.
That leather?
Is she,
Is
it's
it-
on a beach towel. To
Oh,
me, it looks like you could use impressions or silk and ivory or something.
Hmm.
Is she in Texas? Is Julia Snyder from Texas?
I don't have a clue.
Seems like I've been following all these shops on Facebook and stuff, and a lot of these teachers seem to be either from Florida or Texas.
Lots of them.
Mm.
Anyway, I can take a look, particularly at these tricky new things.
Sounds good.
The splendor and the impressions and stuff. Okay, so here's trend. Well, that's interesting. June McKnight has the Harmony is Trenway, and she's using it on the fish's eyes. Okay, so right there, I would probably not buy it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I can stop looking.
Yep.
Okay, well, I think I'm gonna go. But
Okay, well, thank you so much for setting this up and including us, and
sure,
have
you're
fun at your
always welcome.
brunch lunch.
Thanks, Jan, and say goodbye to Laverne. I see she.
Did she already? Yeah, she
Goodbye.
signed off.
Yeah.
All right. Bye,
Good
gals.
to see you, Jan.
Nice to
Thanks.
see
You too.
Nice to see you.
All of you
Bye-bye.
and,
You too.
All
another
right, you guys. Good night.
Night.
night.